Welcome back to VW. Today we are going to be fitting a diesel heater in the Vario 614. Stay tuned. Okay, so we bought a diesel heater for the Vario. This is the pile of bits that we have. Here we go, 1 kilowatt to 8 kilowatts, probably more around 5. But yeah, there we go. So diesel heater is going to be installed underneath here, in this space here, and then obviously vented through into the living area. So we need to get some tools out and start drilling some holes. Eric is helping. Have you put the ladder on?
Nearly.
He literally helps with everything. Okay, so as you can see, we're underneath the bed in the storage area. We're just marking out where we want the plate, because obviously that's the first job. Let me just show. So basically I've angled the plate that way so that the heater will then fit at that angle, which then allows us to put this branch like this into that corner, so we can have a low level heat fan, and also one up here at a higher level into the cap. Now, fingers crossed that's a good idea. If not, we'll have to patch these holes and rethink. Who knows? Let's drill some holes, find out. Okay, so holes are drilled. We're ready now to install the plate. There is, however, one thing which is bothering me at the minute, and that is the fact that the exhaust is going to pass in pretty close proximity to the insulation under the floor. So I'm going to get a can, and I am now going to line the inside of that, which will then protect obviously the insulation from a bit of the heat, and we will then from underneath spray that and fill it with fire foam. So that should do it. We will keep an eye on it, and yeah, if we need to change it, we'll change it. Okay, so we haven't got a lot of room under here. We are now ready. I've lined all the inside's been lined out with a bit of tin, and obviously once we get it in, we're going to spray it with phenolic foam, and that should then obviously not only dissipate the heat but also obviously insulate everything and protect against fire. So the next job is to wedge all this through that hole, which I believe we have done. Like so. And there we go. Rookie error. Put it in the hole. We might need to connect the diesel pipe first, and then we'll put it back in the hole. Okay, this is the diesel pipe that came with it. It's a bit, doesn't seem great. So what we're going to do is get this in now, get it commissioned and get it set up, and then I think we're going to have to obviously take it out and just check. Obviously once we get everything in, we'll check everything for tightness, and I think we will then change this for something a bit better. As luck would have it, had a bit of this laying around. Much better. So we've changed that now. That's one less job to do in the future. Okay, so as you can see, the unit is now in place and bolted down. I'll just show you underneath. So underneath we have our exhaust, fresh air pipe, which just needs to be obviously tacked up here for the inlet for the air. We've got our pump mounted outside, obviously more fuel line to come up through here, and yeah, I'll just show you the exhaust the other side, which I don't know if you can see, is just there. So there you go, we're making progress. Good thing about this, as opposed to the T4, is I can actually sit up underneath here. So there you go. Right, let's get the rest of the fuel line in, and then we've got to figure out how we get the outlet into the fuel tank. Okay, so all the fuel line is in. Now we've got to try and figure out this fuel tank. So basically, we have a 10-litre tank and we have these bits. Obviously that looks like it goes inside the tank. That's the connection for the pipe outside. Let me see that for the outside of the tank. We have an O-ring, and we have an O-ring just there, which goes in the back of that nut. So we have a piece just there where it looks like we drill a hole through, and then we just have to wiggle it around inside until it comes out. Okay, so I'm initially going with a 6.5mm hole. Looks about right, but we'll just drill a hole, make sure it fits from the outside, and then we'll, yeah, trial and error and see what happens. Okay, 6.5mm weren't quite big enough. I'm just gonna give it a little wiggle. This is not at all scary. I'm now looking at around a 7mm. Maybe just a fraction more. So 7.5 probably would be perfect. 7.5mm is perfect. So that now fits in there. So now we've just got to pop that in the top there and try and get it to come back out that hole. I'll see you in about an hour. Okay, not quite an hour, 10 minutes. Ta-da! What I did was put a bit of flex up the middle of it with the bird end like this, and I managed to hook that from the outside and then bring it through. So there you go. Might help you if you're doing yours. Might not. Hello again. A couple of days have passed since I started doing the diesel heater, because obviously having a 3-year-old running around, life got a little bit busy, and yeah, so we're back. I'll show you the progress. Okay, so as you can see, the diesel heater is fixed in place now. We have our diesel tank in and installed. If you can see just under here, you'll be able to see the outlet just under there. Just in the background you can see our fuel filter over there. I've added a little bit of an extension pipe just to the air intake, just so that it's sucking a bit of air more, well, more concentrated, really more than anything else. Wiring is all in, and there we go. So obviously underneath the van, I'll climb under now. Right, underneath the van. So, let me turn you on. So underneath the van, we have the fuel pump there. As you can see up there, we've got the cold air intake there. All the wiring and exhaust runs down, and then comes out along just there. So there we go. That's all the outside bits. So moving inside the bus, obviously everything is wired into our control panel, and underneath there we have our little tiny control panel, which is obviously specific just for the diesel. So this is our main control panel in the Vario build. Obviously you can see we're on shore power at the minute. It's constantly trickle charging, and we've got 14.8 volts in the battery. Turn the blower switch on, and ta-da! I hope you can see that because the light's not very good. And there we go. So we've got power to there, and there we have it. There you go, you can see it better now. There we go, everything's good. And that's about it for the install. I have, oh actually, there is one more bit. 2 seconds. So our inlet, or heating outlet, comes through here. And then we have a vent down here, which is obviously air, angling the air upwards.
theory behind that being that it fires the air up onto the ceiling, rolls around, comes back down here, and then finally back into the bedroom area just here. That's kind of the theory anyway. So we're ending up with like almost like a figure of 8. So the air is going up, round and round the ceiling, back down again, and finally ended up in the bedroom. So there we go, that's the install done. In part 2 we are going to show you how to prime your heater and then get it. Yes?
I come again. What was the pet?
Little man has just turned up. Say hello. So in the next video we're going to show you how to prime it and what the buttons do on the pretty vague control panel, because they come with instructions written in Chinesium, and yeah, you might as well just throw them away and just keep pushing buttons until you find out what they do. So with that said, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the install. They're not that hard to install. You can obviously get a turret mount. You know, we're on a budget, we didn't have that, and you know, it's working, it's working fine. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.